Hey friends, welcome back to Tasty Acre Farms. It's week 6. I'm your pal Joel, and I'm so glad you're joining us. Let's head down on the farm and visit Miss Amy and see what we're up to today.
Hi friends, it's Miss Amy here with West Virginia University Extension Service Family Nutrition Program. Welcome back to Tasty Acres Farms. Today, we're going to take a trip to the strawberry patch. Do you know what a strawberry is? I happen to have a pint out of my garden here. Strawberries go into my plate. Do you want to guess where in my plate strawberries go? That's right, they go into the fruit category. Good job. Whenever we eat from our fruit and vegetable category, it's important to try to eat a rainbow every day. Strawberries are red. Can we go ahead and cover the colors of the rainbow? Think about Roy G. Biv. So it's red, then orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Those are the colors of the rainbow. So again, whenever you're picking fruits and vegetables, try to vary the colors and eat the rainbow. So strawberries are in the fruit category. They're in the fruit category because of the nutrients they provide to our bodies. Strawberries provide us with vitamin A. Point to your eye and say vitamin A. Vitamin A helps us have healthy eyes. They're also loaded with vitamin C. Make a C with your hands. Vitamin C helps keep our bodies healthy. It's important for us to eat fruits every day. Let's take a look at one of these strawberries. All right. What color is the strawberry? That's right, the strawberry is red. Strawberries will vary in color, right? Some will be a lighter pinkish and some will be really, really dark red. On the top, what color is this? Green, right? These are the little leaves at the top. Some people will hold the strawberry by their leaves when they eat it. That's how I like to do it. So, what do you think the strawberry feels like? It is really bumpy, really bumpy. The reason for that is these are actually the strawberry seeds on the outside of the fruit. Well, let's cut one in half and see what it looks like. Ooh. Inside the strawberry, you can see that it is white and pink. All of this is considered the flesh. There is no peel on a strawberry like we've seen in some of the other fruits and vegetables we've looked at Tasty Acres Farms. What do you think it feels like inside? You see all that wetness? It is really juicy. Can you tell me where strawberries come from? Right, they come from a farm or a garden. You can buy them at the grocery store or at the farmer's market. Here in West Virginia, we normally have strawberries available at our farmer's markets at middle of May through July. It will depend on where you're located in the state and what kind of strawberries they grow. So I encourage you to stop by your farmer's market and see and talk to some of the farmers about when strawberries are available. So strawberries grow in plants, and we're going to get to see a lot of strawberry plants in my garden today. They have leaves on top, they get flowers, and then those flowers turn into the fruit or the strawberry. Today, we're going to read Flower Garden by Eve Bunnington. Garden in a shopping cart. Doesn't it look great? Garden on the checkout stand, I can hardly wait. Garden in a cardboard box, walking to the bus. Garden sitting on our laps, people smile at us. Garden going up the stairs, stopping at each floor. This garden's getting heavier, at last, our own front door. Hurry, hurry, get the trowel, spread the papers thick. Get the bag of potting soil, get the planting mix. Put purple pansies at each end, daisies white as snow, daffodils, geranium, and tulips in a row. Garden in a window box, high above the street, where the butterflies can stop and rest and the ladybugs can meet. Walkers walking down below will lift their heads and see purple, yellow, red, and white, a color jamboree. Candles on a birthday cake, chocolate ice cream too. Happy, happy birthday, Mom, a garden box for you. Thanks for joining me for story time. Today's recipe is going to be strawberry smoothies. Let's go see Molly in the kitchen.
Hi, I'm Molly with West Virginia University Extension Service Family Nutrition Program, and today we're going to make a strawberry smoothie. It's always a good idea before you start cooking to read through your recipe and get all your ingredients together. You want to make sure if you're using fresh fruits or vegetables that you rinse them under running water, wash your hands, and clean your cooking surface. I've just done all that, so I'm ready to get started. For this recipe, you need frozen unsweetened strawberries, frozen sliced peaches, low-fat or fat-free milk, a little bit of orange juice, low-fat or fat-free vanilla yogurt, and a blender. Now, the great thing about smoothies is that there really are no rules. You can use different flavored yogurts, you can use different fruits. It really is up to you how you do your smoothie. And if you are unable to find certain frozen fruits in your grocery store, you can always make your own frozen fruits. If you use canned fruits, you want to make sure that you find canned peaches, or if you're using pineapple or something else, that it's canned in juice or water, and then just freeze it on a cookie sheet and then store it in a Ziploc bag. Okay, I'm ready to get started. So I've pre-measured my milk, and this is 1% or fat-free milk. You want to watch your fat content with that. I'm gonna add that to the blender. And then we've got our yogurt. I'm using low-fat vanilla yogurt, and again, you could use strawberry, you could use blueberry, any flavor you want would be good. And I'm just gonna kind of eyeball this because smoothie making is not rocket science. If it's too thin, add some more of something. If it's too thick, add something to thin it out. So I am gonna add about a cup of our yogurt. And then I'm gonna add my fruit. We've got sliced peaches, about a cup and a half, and then a cup and a half of our unsweetened frozen strawberries, and you do wanna look for unsweetened. If you try this and you taste it and it's too tart, depending on whether you buy your own fruit and freeze it and it's in season and perfectly sweetened, or you've got frozen fruit and maybe it's not as sweet as you like it, you can always add a little touch of sugar, but definitely taste it first before you go overboard with that. Now, this recipe does not have ice in it because the frozen fruit kind of is going to add that iciness that you know and love in a smoothie. Turn this on and I'm going to start it. I can tell this is a little bit thick, so I am going to add just a splash of orange juice in so that it is drinkable and pourable. And again, if you don't have orange juice, you could always add a little bit more milk. If you have pineapple juice or another kind of juice you want to use, you could do that. And I'm just going to pulse this real quick. And that's going to thin it out, and now we're ready to try it. Doesn't this look delicious? Full of calcium and all the vitamins and minerals from the different fruits we used. It is so good. And that orange juice added a little bit of sweetness, so I really don't need to add any additional sugar to this smoothie. Thanks so much for joining us this week. I hope you give our strawberry smoothie recipe a try. And if you don't have strawberries and peaches on hand, bananas, blueberries, any fruits you have are going to give you a great tasting and refreshing and healthy smoothie. We'll see you again real soon.
Let's go visit Miss Shannon and get some physical activity.
Hi everybody, Miss Shannon here. Today for our physical activity, we're going to be doing a backyard or neighborhood scavenger hunt. What I'd like you to do with one of your grown-ups is go through your yard or in your neighborhood and see what kind of amazing things are out there. I hope you have a lot of fun. Thank you, friends, for joining us on our backyard and neighborhood scavenger hunt. I hope you had a lot of fun. See you later.
We're going to go do a little hands-on activity now where we can learn all about gardening. Come along.
Hi, my name is Tracey, and I work for West Virginia University's Extension Service Family Nutrition Program, and I'm excited to be with you all today and share with you how to make a variety of different garden markers. When we plant seeds, it's important to remember what we planted and where, so that we can make sure to give it the proper nutrients and the proper attention. We don't want to go pulling out our plants thinking it's a weed. So in this activity, there's tons and tons of options and so much creativity you can have here. You can use modeling clay. You can use, what are these things called? Like big popsicle sticks, little popsicle sticks, wooden spoons, either old ones. I'm going to use this one because it's cracked. So old ones are ones from the dollar store. You can use rocks. We can use spoons, plasticware. I've got some paint today. I love my foam, so we're going to use some of that. Markers, colored pencils, pretty much whatever you can think of. But remember, these are going to be outside, probably in our garden, or this is my herb garden that we made into a fairy garden. So I'm going to be making markers for it today. Remember, because it's going to be outside, we want to be mindful of the weather. So that means if I use regular paper and markers, it's probably not going to last long. It's going to bleed and it's going to fall apart, and that won't be good because then we'll forget what we planted where. So there's a couple things that we're going to do to kind of help with that. So if you only have the most basic supplies like regular paper and markers, all you need is some clear packing tape to help. So for example, if I make I'm going to make one for carrots. So I'm going to write carrot, and I'm going to use nice big letters. And so I'm going to write carrots, and then maybe I'm going to draw a carrot. And for this activity, that didn't look much like a carrot, did it? So we're going to I'm going to put an eyeball on here. Do any of you know why I might put an eyeball on my carrot label? It's because carrots are really good for my eyes. So this way I remember that carrots are good for my eyes, and I kind of don't have all the right colors here, so we're just going to go with it. So mine are kind of going to be like rainbow carrots. So once we have our label, we're going to find the end of our tape here, which is sometimes tricky. And I'm basically going to laminate it using my clear tape. So we're going to sandwich our piece of paper in between two layers of tape. So I've got my clear tape, and I want to make sure to do the front and the back. So I'm going to do the front nice and flat so that we don't have any bubbles. And then I'm actually going to fold it in half. I'm making a mess and getting nice and sticky here. We're going to fold it in half. That should be enough. I'd rather have too much and be able to cut it out. So we're going to fold it in half. And I'm going to make sure to leave a border all the way around so that my paper is really, really sealed in there. And then I can trim the excess a little bit. But be careful not to trim too close, because as soon as we let any air in there, that means water can get in there too, and we don't want water to get into our thing. And then I'm just going to use a plastic fork, and I'm going to feed it through here. And now I've got my label. So I could stick this in the ground, although I didn't grow any carrots in here, so I'm going to stick it there. And then another really fun and easy activity that we can use as a garden marker is a rock. So we can paint the rock and decorate it. Let's see, I'm going to do this one for some lettuce. So I might draw some lettuce here. Some nice big leaves. When we eat the lettuce, we're eating the leaf of the plant, remember? So we're going to grow some lettuce, and I'm going to mark it using this pretty little rock. And so I painted some lettuce on there, and then I'm going to use another one, and I'm going to write lettuce in purple because I like purple. L-E. Ooh, it's kind of hard to write. Maybe I should have used a Sharpie. So I'm going to do my best here, and you can decorate and get creative. And C-E. Oh, goodness. I did not pick the right tool for the job here. All right, so I've got lettuce. So I used a rock on this one. Another fun one is back to our paper. I can use a whole big piece of paper, and then I can use the tape to laminate it again, or I can use some of the lamination sheets, and then I can just stick it to a stick. We don't want to staple because then that's going to let water in, so we're going to tape it on there, and we can use that as a cute little garden marker. And then I gotta say, this is probably one of my favorites because it's nice and big. We could do an alphabet garden, and we could put beets for B, carrots for C, eggplant for E. So I like this one. So we're gonna do a nice big letter on top here. So we can paint that one. Let's see, I'm trying to think what else. You know what, I'm growing corn in my garden. So I'm gonna make this one for my corn that starts with a C. So this is gonna be, so I'm actually planting corn, and I'm planting beans, so for B, and squash in my garden. It's a 3 sisters garden, and the 3 plants all work together. So I'm gonna make this one green on top here. And then I'm gonna put a great big C for corn. And then I'm going to decorate it in all different colors so that it stands out. And you know what I was just thinking? I think I'm gonna let this dry, and I'm going to use a Sharpie to write the name. If you really want to preserve what you made, you can use some clear spray. There's like some clear spray paint that you can use, and that will help it to stay on there for a long time. And I'm just gonna make this nice and bright and fun, and I'm gonna label it with a big C for corn. And I'm gonna stick it right down into my garden. I don't think this is gonna dry enough for our video. I think I'll ruin my marker if I try to, but I'm gonna use a great big fat Sharpie, and I'm gonna write corn real big with a big capital C, and then I'm gonna spray it with some clear adhesive. If you wanna do a real simple one, you can use spoons and Sharpies, and we could do beans on this one. And these, the Sharpies on the plastic, it'll last for a few weeks. You may need to brighten them up as you go. And these are great because they kind of have a built-in stick, and they go right in the ground, and I can do a lot of those really cheap, like from the dollar store. If you're using clay, oops, I just dropped some. If you're using clay, you can roll it out real thin and use like a little tool. This is just a regular screwdriver, and I could etch the words in there if I wanted to. So I could etch in corn, and then I can let it dry and stick them in. And I could even use my foam, and I could do a squash. I love the foam because it's really great for the outdoors. So I can get a squash. I just spelled squash wrong. So always check your spelling. And you can use the Sharpies. Yep, forgot the A. Use the Sharpies, and then once again, you can use a fork. You're gonna go in one, and then around the next 2, and then back in, so that it goes in just like this. All right? So don't forget, always mark what you grow in your garden, and that way you know what you've got there, and you can stick them right in the ground. I like to use things that have the built-in handles so that they go right in, they stand nice and tall, and they look beautiful. Thank you so much, and I hope you all have a great day and you enjoy making your garden markers. Bye.
That was so much fun. I want to thank you for being here today, and I look forward to seeing you next time.
We are in Gap Mills, West Virginia at Sweet Springs Valley Water Company. I am Mabel Cox, manager of the facility. local people decided that they were going to try to see how bottled water would sell. It was a small office to start with just a couple people working in it. A lot of people thought that they were crazy for starting a bottled water business, like when you can get your tap water. We are only strictly spring water. The only thing that I can really tell you about this spring, it is located in Peters Mountain. It is owned by a local man, just lives up the road here. Once it gets into the facility, it goes through a filtering system, which is 6 1-micron filters that takes all of the bacteria out. In case there is anything missed in that, it goes through the UV light. Then it is ran through an ozonator, and the ozonator it will kill any bacteria that is in the water at all. Our water testing is done daily in-house, and then it is sent out weekly to a state-certified lab in Beckley. Mainly they are checking for E. coli, but we have never, in the 30 years that they've been here, there has never been a hit on our product water. Once it goes through that ozonator, we bottle it. All of the bottles will be ran through a wash and rinse cycle, and then after that, the water will go into the 5-gallon bottles. There is a little cap that fits on top of it. That cap is also sprayed with ozonated water. Once they're capped, they come out into the warehouse on a conveyor. Then our production worker will either put them in our racks for our trucks or our pallets. They will load their trucks every morning, take it to either the home resident delivery or business delivery. So we are going to possibly in the real near future start selling canned water with our label on it. This is already in a few of our local stores. We are just hoping that we can get our label on it. We feel like down the road in the future that they will be getting rid of like the small plastic bottles, just because of the environment. This will be more environmental friendly, because all of this is recyclable. This is the only water that I drink. And maybe just because I'm a little bit partial to this water, but yes, like, I shouldn't name any names, but and a few others, I feel like it kind of tastes like the bottle maybe. And with this water, I really don't even really taste anything but our water.